Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Dad Life. We're back here with the 66 T-Bird. If you remember from our last video, we were dealing with a battery that is going bad. Now this is a AGM battery, so this should be a pretty nice battery. It's size 24F. AGM stands for Absorbed Glass Matte. Now this is a more modern battery that really is better suited for modern cars. So we're actually going to be replacing the AGM battery with a traditional lead acid battery. It should do better for a car that sits a while. Now if you remember, the battery was draining to the point where we couldn't start the car. We're going to test it again today, and yeah, we've got 10.97 volts on the voltmeter, and so not enough to start the car. We're going to go ahead and swap this out. We're also going to change out the upper radiator hose because this looks like it's just a piece of hose. It's very large and doesn't seem to be the appropriate one. We bought one off of Rock Auto, reinforced, nice strong hose. This should work beautifully, and it's going to just bend right there. We're also going to put in a new voltage regulator. It's exactly the same one as the one we have on here. We're going to see if that works a little better. So our tools today we use the multimeter. We've got a 1/2-inch wrench. We've got a long flathead screwdriver for the clamps on the radiator hose. We've got a Phillips head. We're going to use this to take off the voltage regulator. Then we've got a little alcohol and some paper towels just to kind of clean up any connections over here with the voltage regulator, especially this one that has a ground. We want it to be really clean before we put it back together. So let's go ahead and first start with the battery. All right, we're back here with the battery. You can see we took the old one out, and you can see the battery case actually doesn't look that bad. It looks pretty clean for a 56-year-old battery case. Now, we just went with a 27F battery, lead acid. In 66, your normal size battery would have been 24F. You had an option for a larger 27F. We went with the larger option. What we're looking for here is the cranking amps. So if you look on the top, you've got 710 cold cranking amps. That means at 32 degrees, or at 0 degrees, I believe, 32 degrees or below, you got 710 cranking amps. Just regular cranking amps, you have 890. When you're dealing with these old cars, you want to get a battery that has twice as many cranking amps as the cubic inches of the vehicle. So this is a 390 cubic inch engine. You're going to want at least 800 cranking amps on that, and we have 890, more than enough to turn this engine over. So we're going to go ahead and set this in. And look, I just got the interstate battery from Costco. You can go buy a $300 Optima battery. You can buy whatever you want, whatever makes you feel better. This battery is going to be more than strong enough. It's made by one of the best companies in the country that's making batteries. And in addition, if there's any problems, I have a 3-year warranty on it. I take it back to Costco and just get a new one. So we're going to throw it in here. And again, it is the bigger battery, so it's going to take up more of the space, but it is locked in there nice and good. All right. Now we've got our terminals. We've got our positive and our negative. So we're going to go ahead and put on our negative terminal right there. And actually, we may, there we go. Let's go ahead and we'll hand tighten this, then we'll just get it really tight. Nice and tight. And then we got our positive. And again, we're going to kind of hand tighten it as best we can. And then we want it real nice and tight. Now I live in the desert, so I'm not too worried about corrosion issues on this battery case. I feel like it's missing a strap or some kind to hold it in place. I'm gonna have to do some research on that. I don't like that it's just sitting there. That's nice and tight there. Let's check the voltage of this new battery. And it's reading 12 point, let's move that out of the way, it's a little hard to read. 12.71 volts. More than enough to crank this car over. All right, let's get these out of the way. Okay, now, while we're working with the electrical system, let's go ahead and take the voltage regulator off. You're going to come around the other side. Here's the voltage regulator right here, literally the same one we have. It's just held in by two Phillips head screws. So we're just going to go ahead and take those off. That one even seemed a little loose. Hopefully that wasn't its problem. And again, I'm not using power tools. Hand crank all this stuff. We don't want to strip anything. There's one. I'll just set it right there. And here's two. Again, this one has a ground. Looks like for the headlights. So we're going to pull that out. Thank you, voltage regulator, for catching yourself. Just going to put that there. We're going to look at this. That's a little nasty, so we're going to just take some paper towel on that ground, and we're going to just use a little rubbing alcohol, and we're going to clean it up in here and just kind of get the grime off of it. We want it to be as clean as possible. You gotta remember, there's like 50 years of road grime under here. That looks pretty good. Now we're just gonna disconnect this old piece. And we may want to clean those terminals a little bit in there. They look a little dirty. I mean, honestly, what we should do is we should just replace it. It looks like it was replaced. Let's put a little rubbing alcohol on there. Let's clean these terminals up a bit. Just kind of clean that up. It actually looks like there's a little corrosion in there. I'm gonna see if I have some electrical terminal cleaner. I know I used to. Yep, I do. This electrical cleaner right here you can get at any auto parts store. It's great. It's great for modern cars, it's great for old cars. Let's take this out. Put that. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this and kind of cradle it, and we're just going to kind of squirt in there. So it's going to come out the back side, and that's okay. It's going to clean those terminals. Kind of get some of that corrosion off. Again, we're gonna just kind of cradle it. And actually, this piece looks like it's broken. So we're probably gonna end up replacing this piece at some point. I have a new one. Just need to see where these wires go. I don't want to start a hunt that I don't have time to finish. So throw in a little cleaner in there, and then let's go ahead and put this back. So we'll go like this. make sure that we ground that. And again, we're doing it to this because there's no body paint there, or there's body paint there. It needs to be on bare metal. Okay, just kind of hand tighten it. Get it over here. And that piece, and this goes right in there. Oh, dropped it. All right. Gotta love these old cars. I really need to get in this engine compartment and do some cleaning. Disconnect the battery, clean up some of this grime and grease that's in here. There we go. All right. Now we're going to tighten this down just like this. Nice and tight to the body. We're going to tighten this one down nice and tight to the body. We're going to put this back where it was, just like that. All right, new voltage regulator put in. Now, new parts are also untested parts, so we'll see how it works. Go ahead and just put this off to the side for right now. Now the last thing we're going to do before we fire this up, we're going to replace that upper radiator hose. Again, that looks like a piece that was just cut from a larger hose that wasn't quite right. So we're going to put a correct one on. We're going to go ahead and do that. Oh yeah, look how tight that had to go to keep it on. Get this one here. Yeah, looks like there's some gook in there. We just want to it's almost like it's welding on. Peel that off. Look at that. Feels like there's fluid in there. Hopefully we don't lose any. Like there's some. My paint job's getting messed up. All right, let me go ahead and get this off real quick. All right, we got the new radiator hose put back on. As you saw, the other one was leaking. It was nice and full with fluid. We went ahead and added some more fluid. We'll get it warmed up. We'll check it out. But this fits nice. Now, when you're putting on, this is a reinforced radiator hose. It's really nice. The other one we had on there looked like it was cut to size, so it was not appropriate for the unit. Looking down here, I'm worried that the bottom one is kind of the same thing. So we're going to end up replacing the lower radiator hose as well. But we did get some radiator fluid in there, so hopefully it doesn't cause us any problems. But this hose looks fantastic. The battery's back in. Voltage regulator new is on there. We're going to go ahead and put a new emergency brake pedal on there. Right now it's just bare metal. So we'll throw this padded one on, and then she'll be ready to fire up. We'll see if she starts and see if she runs a little better.